All right, chapter 26 and 27 summaries and discussions. So school starts in chapter 26, and Scout and Jim, they begin to pass by the Radley place every day, and they're now too old to be frightened by the house, but Scout still wishes to see Boo Radley just once. And so you have to think about the fact that they're really not interested in being scared at the Radley house anymore because they've seen scarier things like racism and prejudice. So yeah, that makes sense. So in school one day, Scout's teacher, Mrs. Gates, lectures the class on the wickedness of Hitler's persecution of the Jews and on the virtues of equality and democracy. And then Scout later asked Jim how Miss Gates can talk about equality when she came out of the courthouse after the trial and told Miss Stephanie Crawford that it was about time that someone taught the blacks in town a lesson. So Jim becomes very angry and tells Scout not to talk about the trial to him again. And so here, Scout has seen her teacher be a hypocrite, which all day as teachers, like, we have this platform of giving you, our students, our opinions, and then we have a platform of telling you one thing, but do our actions back up what we're saying? Or are we just giving you lip service? Or are our actions actually proving to you, our values? And so here, Scout is saying, how can my teacher, Miss Gates, say this about the Jews? And then we're talking about the blacks. And so what a lot of people don't think about is, during the 1930s, we had all of this racial tension here in the United States, but the Holocaust was going on too. And so it's kind of interesting to see this parallel that Harper Lee puts into this novel, and it really makes the reader think about the treatment of people in general and what inhumane treatment is. And the fact that Jim doesn't want to talk about it again just means that he's kind of over the trial, and really I think it just hurts him to talk about it. It's kind of like beating a dead horse over and over again. Moving on to chapter 27, Bob Ewell, he gets a job with the WPA, which is one of the depression job programs, and he loses it a few days after. Are we surprised? No. Judge Taylor's home is broken into when he is home alone, but he doesn't catch who the culprit is. Bob Ewell then begins to follow Helen Robinson to work, keeping his distance, but whispering cruel things at her. Harassment, anybody? That's exactly what that is. And so Link Deese sees Ewell, and then he threatens to have Bob Ewell arrested if he doesn't leave Helen alone. So he finally stops following Helen. And these events, they worry Aunt Alexandra, who points out that Ewell seems to have a grudge against everyone connected with the case, and that includes Atticus and his children. So now the town has a Halloween party and a play. Both Atticus and Aunt Alexandra are too tired to attend the festivities, so Jim takes Scout to the school for the play. And so here, this is where Harper Lee sets up some really gothic imagery for us when the kids are on the way to the play. It's kind of dark outside because the moon is hidden, and it was the middle of October, which, it's Halloween, it's creepy. And so here we get a very unsettling feeling here with some events that are about to occur. And you should feel unsettled because what's about to happen in chapter 28 is going to blow your mind. All right, let me know what your questions are.